Hey everyone, it's Tim Holtz and I'm here at Sizzix headquarters, and it is of course the holiday season. What better than giving you some great things to do some holiday making? Of course, we have a great steel rule alphabet. Love this one. This is Wonderland. Great, has a really cool kind of old world Christmas look. Of course, we have another font. We have anything that has to do with script, I think is so cool to use, especially for the holiday season, because this mimics that shadow script font. Gift tags. You can never have too many gift tags. All sizes, so we have the stacked tags. Fresh baked. Love the idea of creating little tags or cards that mimic fresh baked cookies. This one, very, very beautiful, where we have the wise men and that Christmas star. Such a great die. Of course, a couple of flurries. Love the detail of these Thinlits. You can see here the swirling kind of snowy stars. I love this background. Wait till you see some of the projects we've done with this. Now we're going to go down to the front and talk about steel rule dies. You know, I love steel rule dies. So this one we've got branches. Now branches could be used for wreaths, home decor, because you actually cut out 3 different branch shapes with this steel rule die. Then if you are a maker of the Village series, of course we have the addition. We've got the ability to add on to our dwellings, whether they are the dwelling or the brownstone. We've got some great pieces to really give these shapes a whole different look. Now, if you're into the detail work, wait till you see this whole little collection of tiny snow globes. And when I say tiny, they are tiny because these little characters can actually create snow globes, whether you use them just on a card or our new dimensional domes. These are clear plastic domes that allow you to make a little shaker snow globe. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. And of course, another side order. A side order for Christmas, perfect for all of those Christmas makes. So wait until you see all of these amazing holiday makes. Here we go. We're going to start out, of course, with steel rule die. Take a look at this one. I love this ice flake, and this is cut out of Ideology Mirrored, which is a heavyweight plastic. But I love just the detail of that and that sparkle. And you can see that this is on an etc. tag that's got a little background using that steel rule die branches. Love just adding that as a background element. And there you can see that really cool Wonderland font. It just really pairs up nicely with all of these nice linear cuts of these designs. Of course, for steel rule, like I said, I love the fact that we can cut thicker things. So you can see this branch here really is a great highlight on this card because it supports the little berries, and of course just pair it up with your favorite little verse die. Now, when we come down here, you're going to see that detail also matters to me. So sometimes I can't get too much detail out of a steel rule die, so of course we're going to go into a thin die. And that's what I love about these flurries, all the little detail. And you can see here that they really pair nicely with one another. You can get different winter backgrounds. You can also create kind of a woodland background just by changing up your colors. And here on this card, there's another shaker. So you can see here, I'll just kind of move that. You've got that little bit of a glitter in the background of that shaker card. Really nice. Now, if you have different photos or maybe use paper dolls, another great use for your die cuts, of course, is pairing them with your favorite ephemera or vintage elements on your card. Now, this card, love to see all of the different looks you can get with a die cut, right? So this, of course, is pairing it up with the Christmas die from a previous year's collection. But take a look at this card. It sparkles because the whole background is done in glitter, but you can see how those flurries act as your background by just cutting them up and using them as your background, having those bleed off the edge. Another very clever use for die cuts. Possibilities are endless. So let's talk a little bit about backgrounds, right? Here we can see those flurries. I love that this is a negative die. It actually cuts out all of these little dots that create that snowy background. Pair that up with the Merry Moose. And here is that cutout script alphanumeric. The fact that you can take those letters and cut out as many different letters as you want to spell out whatever sentiment you want, that is what's really nice about having an alphanumeric die, because you can customize whatever you want. But I really love the background. Now, of course, this background, not only does it have an all-over pattern, but it also has this wonderful circular pattern that could act as a wreath or just to go in and highlight one of the shapes. So you can see here the flurry just highlights that Christmas star because there are some solid shapes in that die set as well. And of course, pairing it up with a word die like Wish. Love that vintage one. Now, look at this. This is very whimsy because this is a lot of different dies used on one card. That's the whole thing about building your collection, is mixing and matching your different die shapes. So here we can see there is that little flurry. We've got that great little knockout shape that frames. We've got that really cool Yule, kind of reindeer here. Look down here and you can see the branches, a little bit of that greenery, and there again, one of those shaker cards, but I love the fun background of that game card. Just a cool, cool project. And of course, this wintry one. So there again, using that flurry cutout, highlights that circular window, and using one of those cool Yule guys in there, another shaker, and of course our shadow script word. Just so many different ways that you can mix and match your different die cut pieces. Now for dies, I also like detail, but I also like a little function. So that is why I wanted to do stack tags. We've done a lot of different stack shapes, which is basically that same shape in different sizes. And of course, what better time for the holiday season to release tags? So you can see here that they're all different sizes of tags, starting with that smallest little number 2 tag, and we kind of build up in size and scale. So you can see here for your projects, whether you're doing gift giving or just using them on cards, we've got all these different sizes of tags. This is just a great example of using that lumber 3D folder to really alter the effect of those tags by just changing up that wood grain texture. But a really cool thing to have all these different tags, of course, for your Christmas or holiday makes. Now look at this. I think these cards are just elegant. They're so beautiful. Look at the wise men on this card and just taking these dies, laying them down, and then painting and inking over them with a solid color. It really gives a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious look to this card. I just love it. I love how simple that is by just sticking with those gold colors. And then of course, there is our alphanumeric, or you can use your thin words to actually add your verse to the card. I just think that's so pretty. Now, if we change this up, you can see here that we can also use these dies just to create a lot of different styles of cards, right? So we can take these wise men and just kind of flip that up into our easel card. Isn't that great? I love the look of the detail of this die. So much detail goes in. Again, a shout out to Sizzix for all of this great detail to create this beautiful silhouette. Isn't that nice? Now take a look at this one, just going into a simple silhouette of using black cardstock to create that drop shadow. But there again, we're using that wonderful little flurry in the background. So don't forget to mix and match those shapes, even adding a little bit of that funky festive on there. Just really cool. Always inspiring to, of course, see these projects that so many talented designers make for these videos. I absolutely love them. We're going to get into a little bit of whimsy with Fresh Baked. Now this is Fresh Baked 2, so this is the second half of the Fresh Baked collection. And I like that we can create these little cookie shapes to use on cards. You can see here with just a little bit of glossy accents that's on there. Really fun. Of course, we can display the entire collection on a plate. How great is that? Just using this. You can see again, just using the glossy accents, and whether you're using paper leather or chipboard, or any of your favorite colors, it just makes for a great decor piece. Or if you don't want to add any glossy accents, you can make this great little box card, just using all of those cookie shapes in there. The box comes off and then you've got a greeting card inside. Or if you are looking for a great gift, how about taking a little jar and filling it up with your favorite dry ingredients, and then just making a little tag that has just the directions on how to make that. Isn't that cool? Just a great little gift idea of using those Fresh Baked dies. Now, if you really get into creating for your home, I love the Village series, right? We released this years ago, where all these different components of making your actual buildings that you can make your little holiday village. So this year we've kind of decided to give you a little addition. And the addition actually cuts out this little side piece, right? You can see here with the window, that little slanted roof. And then also this little entryway. And these additions fit on both of the base dwellings, whether it's the brownstone or the vintage dwelling. Of course, we also paired it up with the bell tower. So now you have a totally different way to customize those buildings for your village and give them the addition. And I like the idea of using 2 of those on both sides of the building to really increase the space of that. Now, speaking of fonts, of course, we have that new Wonderland font. And look how great this looks kind of stacked up. Right? Really like just kind of the proportions and scale of this font, because you can add a nice bold message. Then of course we get into side orders. We're always looking for those great holiday makes. So I wanted to do something for Christmas specifically that you can make very fast little tags or ornaments. And that's what's nice about all these different side orders. The cute little elements, the little hat, or this one I thought was so clever. I'm going to show you the difference. Let me pick this one up. I'm going to take both of these, the Noel and the Merry Misfits. Do you see those? How great those are? We've got the little Santa Claus here. Very cool. But just by changing up the colors, you can make a little lumberjack. Isn't that clever? Taking that and just, who would have thought? So clever to just mix that up. And I love the Merry Misfits. It reminds me of Rudolph. Very cool. And then, of course, we do have Rudolph. We've got that great little reindeer here. We've got our mitten that we can create all sorts of different wintry looks. And whether you're doing gift tags or if you're doing cards, of course, we can take those shapes and pair them with different words. Make a very cute card, very quick background, just a mini card, or you can use it just as a focal point. Even though they're small, the Sidekick packs a lot of creative punch, because you can take that little icon and really match it with a lot of different things, whether they're stickers or your favorite background paper. Sky's the limit. That's creative convenience at its finest. So now I want to share with you one of my favorites, one of the things I'm most excited about for the holidays, and that is adding a little bit of dimension with these guys. And I will say that this took really a lot of challenge for Sizzix to create such tiny, tiny dies. This is the tiny snow globe, and what it is, it's a Thinlit set that cuts out this globe shape, this circle, and then it also cuts out 2 different designs of bases, and these bases you can, of course, fit your snow globe on. But in addition to the globe and the base, you also have all of these different icons to choose from. And take a look at the detail from each one of these, from the mountain to the deer to the tree to the car. Those are all individual shapes. And all of those pieces are on the same die for each element, allowing you to easily layer these. And if you think, well, gosh, Tim, those don't look very small. Let me just pull in just one of the side orders just to show you the difference in scale. So this is our side order snowman. But if you compare him to scale, look at that, of that tiny snow globe. These guys are tiny, but they're really fun to do. They really are. Now, what's nice about this, of course, we can use these just to put onto a card, right? We can take these elements. Let me grab, let's see, I'll just show you this one. This is great because we can just take those shapes, we can cut out those circles, make these tiny little vignette scenes. Maybe you want to put a little glossy accents or something over it. So you can use these tiny snow globes as is. The shapes are perfect. They're great for little elements, but you can also really give them some personality and some dimension using the dimensional domes. And these dimensional domes, there they are, they're little adhesive back, kind of half domes that allow you to put it over your dome, add your little base, and then we can move some glitter around. We've got little glitter, tiny glass beads. We can create little hanging ornaments. Look at that. That little shaker in there, right? We've got that little card, and this, of course, is paired up with that big branch, so you can use your Bigz branch to add a little ornament, or you can just go all out and look at this one. I love the use of all the different dies. So here we have that stacked postage. That's going to create kind of our base frame. But look at these branches. That's that birch background. Take those. It's no longer a background die. Just cut a couple of those birch pieces, and then you can see those tiny little deer and tree, and there is that little cabin in there under that dimensional dome. Such a great card, right? But these dimensional domes, because they're so tiny, they can also be used as gift tags. So there you have it. So many festive projects coming your way from Sizzix for the holiday season and all of your Christmas makes. So happy holidays, everyone.